Hey, what's up guys, this is Fatal Cubes here. In this video I will be showing you guys how to create the main menu screen. So if you guys have forgotten what it looks like since the preview video, I'm gonna go ahead and run it, the finished product, so you guys can just see how it looks. Alright, we got the title here with 3 buttons centered, about the exact same size, same spacing apart, and the author right there. Alright, so let's get right into it. First thing you need to do in this main class right here, in this game class, is we need to add a new panel. We're going to call it menu, and that's going to be a new main menu panel, which we will create in a moment. And then screen.setCurrentPanel to menu. Alright, perfect. Now let's go ahead into GUI and create a new class called main menu panel. Alright, in here we want to make sure that it extends GUI panel so that we can override some things and get everything, import this in the game class. Alright, now that it extends a GUI panel, we can add GuiButtons to it, and it has all the features that a GUI panel has. And it's also part of the system with the GUI screen. Alright, we need a few variables at the top. Let's go ahead and create two different fonts. We need a title font, which is going to be equal to the main fonts that we've always been using. But it's going to be size 100, so it's going to be pretty big. And then we need a creator font. This is like the author, so this is the by Fatal Cubes part. Derive font. Float size is going to be 24F. Let me just check something here. Alright. The title of the game, so make this private. Private string title equals 2048. This is the title at the top of the screen. Alright. Now string creator equals by Fatal Cubes, and we're gonna need a button width. Alright, now the last thing I wanted to do, create one more variable called private int spacing, set it equal to 90. This is the spacing in between the buttons. I just want to have this variable here so that each button, so that you can just change this variable and all the buttons' Y positions will change. Anyways, go into the constructor, so we need to create this constructor. Public main menu, menu panel. And the first thing we're going to do is call super, so that we make sure that we get the constructor from the GUI panel. And then we're going to start creating GUI buttons. GUI button play button equals new GUI button. Alright, we're going to center the button by going game.width divided by 2 minus half the button width. Simple centering. The initial height is going to be 220. And we're going to do button width, and 60 is going to be the button height. We can even go ahead and make a private integer called button height and set it equal to 60, and then just go ahead and put button height here. Alright, now we're going to go ahead and create another button. 2 more buttons actually. Go like this. So we got the play button, we need the leaderboards button, and we need the quit button. Everything's going to be the same, except this is going to be play button get Y position, get Y, plus the spacing, and this is going to be the leaderboards button.getY plus the spacing. Alright, so now we got that good. Now we gotta go set some things. Let's go ahead and set the text for all of them. So play button.setText to play. We need leaderboards button.setText to leaderboards. And let's go ahead and create, oh my bad, this is gonna be, change this to scores button, just because for simplicity's sake, and the text is gonna be scores. I forgot that's what I did in my original one, so I might as well keep it simple, keep it the same. And the quit button that set text equal to quit. So now that we have all three buttons and we've set their text and give them a location, let's go ahead and add action listeners. So to add an action listener, just call the add action listener. And because action listener is an interface, you cannot just create an action listener out here and then add it. You can't instantiate it like that. Instead, you go into these parentheses and do new action listener. Parentheses, go outside the parentheses, create curly braces, and hit enter. It should look like this in this order. Input action listener, and then hover over it, and you should get this error, and it says add unimplemented methods. Go ahead and do that, and you should get one method called action performed. If you guys remember in the GUI panel class, not in the GUI panel class, the GUI button class, when the mouse is released, then we call all the action listeners in the button. We call this method action performed, and we give it a null event. So in other words, this action event arg0 is going to be equal to null every single time, because that's how we're doing it. So if we do a play, we're going to call GUI screen.getInstance.setCurrentPanel to the play panel. Now be warned, we haven't created the play panel, so this will cause a crash because that's null. Scores button.setText to scores. Oh my bad, what am I doing? We need to create the action listener, so .add action listener, new action listener. Exact same thing for the as we did for the play button. Add the unimplemented event method, and in here we're going to do the exact same thing. So GUI screen.getInstance.setCurrentPanel to leaderboards. Again, this will cause a crash because leaderboards does not exist yet, but just ignore that for now. Last one we need to do is create the quit button. This button will work because all it does is exit out of the program. So .add action listener, new action listener, and we're gonna go ahead and add the unimplemented method, and all we gotta do is call system.exit0. Now, if you guys were wondering why it's exit 0 and not exit any other number, is because generally the exits, in other words, it's a status so that you're passing in. If you use 0, it's saying that the everything went accordingly to plan, the system is exiting on a normal exit. If you exit on 1, then that's saying that you caught an exception, something went wrong, you know, something in your code was wrong, and you exited it's sort of like a warning, like you predicted it could have happened. And if you exit on -1, then that's something wrong that you didn't predict, and it's just for logging the files if you want to keep track of that stuff. Anyways, okay, so once we have the buttons set up at their positions, we have their text, and we have their action listeners. Now we can go ahead and add them to the panel. So just call add, and this takes in a GUI button, so we might as well add the play button, add the scores button, and add the quit button. So that's it for our constructor. Now we're going to go ahead and override one method. Since we don't need to override the update method, we might as well just override the render method. So like this. Right after super.renderG, this is what's going to render all the buttons, right? So super.renderG is going to call the render method in GUI Panel. You must call this, otherwise the buttons won't get rendered properly. And then we can go ahead and render some other things. So set the font to your title font, and then go ahead and set the color to black, and then draw a string, import color, make sure that's imported. Draw the title at game.width divided by 2 minus draw utils.getMessageWidth title font G divided by 2 because we want to center it, and the position is going to be 150Y. This can be changed. This is how high it is, so just put that wherever you want. Whoops. New line g.setFont. Now we're going to set the font to the creator font and go ahead and draw the string creator at the X position 20 and game.height minus 10. So 10 pixels up from the bottom of the screen. And that should be good. It should run now, and hopefully without any bugs. There it is. We got the title there, we have our buttons here, and this right here. Now if you were to hit play, we're gonna obviously okay. Oh, so the reason we did not hit a crash there, it's actually because we built this into the GUI screen, which is really nice, is basically we set the current panel to something that it didn't recognize, play. And it said, okay, now let's go ahead and render. So if plain panels.getPlay does not equal null, oh wait, it does equal null. So because it does equal null, it never does render it. And so instead we get a blank screen like that. Quit will work. That's just going to quit out of your program. And yeah, that's it. I think this is it for this tutorial. We have the main menu screen going, and that's all set up. In the next video, I'm not sure what we're gonna do. We have to change some things with how we do the saving before we create the leaderboards panel, so we'll probably address that shortly. But I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, like the video and subscribe if you want to see updates for future videos, and see you guys. Bye.